Hello my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Fatima. I am a makeup and skincare enthusiast. If you're interested in these types of contents, please don't forget to subscribe. I do a lot of product reviews and I give you my honest thoughts. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, I am finally trying the WESTMAN ATELIER duos. I picked these up during the Sephora sale. I picked up one of the contour duos and two of the blush duos. For the contour duo, I have Petal Biscut, and for the two blush duos, I have Coquette and Mimi, Suede and Sable. I haven't swatched these. I haven't even touched them. I wanted to keep them for this video. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. At the beginning, I didn't want to pick these up because I feel like WESTMAN ATELIER prices are unreasonably high, but since it was Sephora sale and since I have this channel and I wanted to review it for you guys and give you my honest thoughts, I decided to pick up some of the shades. I didn't pick up everything in the line because one of the blushes and two of the contour duos didn't suit my skin tone. I decided to only pick those up that I thought I'm gonna use. I have seen mixed reviews from the people who I like to watch. Most of them seem to like these, but apparently they are a bit finicky to work with, so we'll see. I'll show you the packaging. This is what it comes as a protective layer. This is the packaging. Looks a lot better than what I saw online. Honestly, online I thought it's just a cheap plastic, but it is actually not a bad packaging. It is very sturdy. It is not too heavy, but it looks good in your hand. You feel the luxurious packaging. We have the WESTMAN ATELIER logo right here. This is Petal Biscut. Let's see how they swatch. They feel soft to the touch and they are applying softly to my hand. Now Petal feels a bit more dry, but that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. These are the two, Biscuit and Petal. Fortunately, I have Petal and Biscuit in the mini size from their contour and blush sticks, so I'm gonna apply them next to each shade. Petal actually does not look that different, but Biscuit is definitely cooler toned in the stick format. I feel like both shades are warmer in the powder format, but Petal is very close to the cream shade. I know that it doesn't look like it, but when you blend it out, I feel like it looks closer. Here, both of them are blended out, but Biscuit is a bit more cooler in tone. And that is Biscuit blended out. It doesn't show up in the camera, but it definitely is a bit cooler. But they do look similar, so if you were looking for a powder version of those two shades, this might be good, but I have to try it and let you guys know how the texture is. Let's get to the application and see how they apply, and you can decide based on the application if you want to pick up the powder formats of these two sticks. On one side of my face, I'm gonna use natural hair brushes, and on the other side I'm gonna use synthetic hair brushes because I know not everyone has natural hair brushes and they are pretty expensive, so you might not want to pick up a natural hair brush with this powder. For a $75 powder duo, you would expect it to apply conveniently with a synthetic brush. For Biscuit, I'm gonna use BK Beauty 111. Very powdery as you can see, but that doesn't mean a bad thing necessarily. I have powdered my face with my Givenchy Prisme lip powder with the older version. I know that one is discontinued, but I wanted to use a powder that I know I will like and it doesn't disrupt the consistency of the powders because I want to give you the full-on review. It does apply a bit patchy at first, which makes sense. This is a very powdery powder. It can look patchy at first, but it blends out easily. This is Biscuit. Sometimes I cannot tell from the mirror if they look patchy. So far they don't, but we'll see in the video when I'm uploading it how they look. I'm gonna apply Biscuit to the other side of my face using a squirrel hair brush. This is the Chico cheek brush. It's more controllable with a natural hair brush. Let's see the application. Not much of a difference between the two sides, but I do feel like this side looks a bit more blended and more natural than this side. Let me try to blend out this side more. I never powder my face, but these were too powdery, so I knew I have to set my face before messing up anything. But I don't think these are gonna be very easy to apply on non-powdered face. The colors are amazing. I'm gonna apply some of the biscuit shade to my crease area using BK Beauty 201. I have to tell you, this is not the first thing I am using from the brand. I've used their blush and contour stick for the longest time, and those are the only two that I like from the brand. I recently picked up these two in the Sephora sale. This is their bronzer sun tone bronzing drops. This one is liquid super loaded in Petal Biscut. This one is in shade 2. I picked these up and I feel like honestly they are not worth the price. They are a bit patchy to apply. This is better, but I have to learn how to use it because they say you can use it under the foundation, over the foundation. But the bronzing drops were super patchy on bare face. I haven't used them on my foundation and everything, so I'll let you guys know how that works out. I also have their concealer. That one is also a bit too drying for my skin, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It is a mediocre formula. I wouldn't say it is something that wows me. It is good, it is not bad, but I still like my Natasha Denona concealer better than that one. These blend very easily on the eyes. So far, the only thing that I would say the packaging is great and the formula is great as well is their sticks. And I only buy their mini sizes because I don't use that much of one product and I was worried that they're gonna go bad. I think the bigger sizes are $48, which is not a very bad price considering they are good quality and great packaging. If you like the packaging and you wanna try these are actually good ones. We'll see about the powders today, but these three, they give me the same feeling. I won't shut up about Victoria Beckham Beauty ever. They give me the same feeling as Victoria Beckham Beauty. Good packaging, but not very promisable. I have to say I need to try more from Victoria Beckham Beauty because I have only tried their powder formula and I've heard their eyeshadows, single eyeshadows are great. Their contour stick is great. I will definitely try those in the future. I'm gonna use a fluffier brush on this side of my face and apply more. This is BK Beauty 104. I feel like 111 was a bit too dense for this. My skin is super dry right now, so if these can apply on my super dry skin without any patchiness, that's a win. I hate to say this, but I think I like it. It is a bit hard to work with. I want to be honest with you. I don't want you to pick it up and be like, what is this? I cannot apply it to my face. It's patchy. I'm sure I have to powder my face to be able to use this product, but this is a powder product and usually people do powder their faces when they are using powder, bronzer, and blush. I'm a lot happier with these than I was with this. Even the shade was too warm for my skin tone. Let's try the blush. This is how much blush I would do if it wasn't for the video, but I'm gonna apply more so that you can see the color, and when you apply more you will notice more if there is any patchiness. These are so expensive. I hate to like them. She does have a brush for this, but I'm not gonna pick up her brush. I have enough brushes in my collection that can replace that. It was a bit easier to apply with the natural hair brushes. Let me apply some of it to my eyelids as well. These are very soft on the eyelids. I hate to admit, but these look good. I'm using my Sonia G buffer brush to buff out some of the edges, which is what I always do when I use a powder product for my bronzer and blush. Not always, most of the time. I feel like it makes it more seamless. My forehead is so dry. These are a bit of a blurring formula too. I want to apply more to the contour of my face to see how it applies. What do you think? Does it look good? Is it patchy? I'm gonna go ahead, clean this up, and apply my foundation, concealer, and powder again, and be back to apply the other two. I applied a bit more powder this time because I want to see if they apply better with more powdered face. I have two of the blush duos. That one was a contour duo. This is the blush duo. In this hand, I have Coquette and Mimi. Here I have Suede and Sable. It feels a bit softer than the other duo. Coquette and Mimi. I believe top one is Mimi, bottom one is Coquette. And the two bottom ones are Suede and Sable. Let me swatch the first palette next to these. Mimi, Coquette. I believe this is Sable, Suede, Petal, and Biscuit. These two are very different than the other shade, but this duo and this duo are very close. Suede and Sable are a bit warmer. Biscuit and Petal are a bit cooler, more neutral. Now that I know the formula, I'm going to use BK Beauty 104 for everything. I'll apply Suede and Sable to this side of my face and Mimi and Coquette to this side. I think the only shade between all three of palettes that has some shine to it is Coquette. I'm sorry, I don't know which one is Suede, which one is Sable. I'm now mixing them up. I'm applying this shade. I think powdering more has helped. I didn't powder a crazy amount, but I powdered more than what I usually do for my dry skin. It doesn't look dry or anything. It looks actually very blurring. I feel like the blushes are softer than the contour palettes. I felt that when I was swatching the shades, but now that I'm applying to my face, that's how I feel like. But that might be because I put on more powder in the areas that I was going to apply the blushes. Dang it, I like this one too. The reason I'm not noticing any patchiness with these can also be because these are lighter shades than Biscuit and Petal. This is how Suede looks on the side of my face. I'm gonna apply Sable, which is gonna be this shade. Which is a darker shade too. So we'll see if our theory is right. This applies basically the same as Petal. As I said, I'm applying a lot more than I usually do because I want you guys to see the shades. If it was me, I would stop a long time ago. These are very close to Biscuit and Petal. The only difference is that you don't have that cooler tone shade here. That gives you a contouring effect, but the final result is very, very close. If I applied a contour powder here, they will look a lot similar. Let me apply them to my eyes. I thought these are gonna be too warm for my liking, but they have like a bronzy undertone, dare I say, which looks a lot better than I thought on my skin tone. Again, I'm using my Sonia G buffer brush. It looks very blurring in the mirror. But I have to say, because I had to powder a lot, all other parts of my face look a bit makeup-y. This actually has helped with the smoothness of my skin. The other areas are super dry. Let's apply Coquette and Mimi to this side of my face. Brush is cleaned up. I'm gonna apply Coquette first because it is a lighter shade and I wanna see how it looks. I apply it to the apple of my cheek. A very slight gold shimmer in it, which doesn't look bad. I will apply hydrating setting spray at the end because that's what I would do if I would use a powder product, because I have a very dry skin and powders alone without a setting spray don't look very natural on my skin. These smell weird. I think it's because they don't have any fragrance, which I'm happy about. I'm not complaining. With the fragrance products, you have this smell. And on top of that, you're gonna have the perfumes. So I prefer to have this alone. And it doesn't bother me. Because of those gold shimmers in this shade, it is actually a bit less blurring than every other shade. I can see my pores and dryness on this side, but I applied a lot. I think if I applied less, it wouldn't be as noticeable. And I'm looking very close in the mirror. Now let's apply Mimi. Very interesting combination of shades, but they actually look good together. Let me apply more. And more of the Coquette shade. I remind you, I applied a lot. You don't have to apply this much. I wanted you guys to see the shades. I feel like if you apply normally with a light hand, you will get great results. I'm gonna use Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. The setting spray helped a lot. They look a lot better when I set them with a setting spray. And I have to tell you, no matter what you do, usually with powder products on dry skin, you are gonna get more of a makeupy look. If you are looking for a very natural makeup, not very noticeable look, you have to use cream products, liquid products, but if you want to use a powder, you have to expect that it's gonna look a bit powdery and a bit makeupy. But after the setting spray, this looks good. This looks as good as when I use my favorite powders. Unfortunately, I have to say that I like these powders. I like the blush palettes more than the contour palette. The contour palette was a bit too dark for my skin tone and it looked a bit patchy, which doesn't happen with the cream biscuit formula. With cooler tone shades like the one in the contour palette, the biscuit one, you might get some patchiness if you use a lot. That is just the concept of cooler shades. They look muddy, so you have to use a lot less than you think. And you have to use a lot lighter shades when you are using a powder contour. Again, I'm gonna say it, if you're asking me, are these worth $75? I would say no, no makeup is worth this amount of money. But if you have the budget, if you want to spend your money on something nice with nice packaging, nice quality, and you want to just spoil yourself, it's your birthday, it's Mother's Day or something like that, and you want to pick up something good for yourself, these are good quality. The packaging is good. They have a mirror in them, which I really like, because when I'm traveling, I want a mirror in my products. I don't want to carry a separate mirror with me. With the two blush palettes that I have, you can use them as your bronzer. You don't need the biscuit shade in the other palette to have a bronzer. As you can see, I have very bronzed skin, and one side is Coquette and maybe one side is Suede and Sable. So with both palettes, you can get a bronzy shade. It's not just a blush palette. You can use them as your bronzer, so you don't have to pick up a Petal and Biscuit as well. The benefit with more luxury products is that you usually get very unique shades, and that is true with these palettes. And I think if you don't care about paying $75 for a palette, for a blush palette or a contour palette, you would be happy with your purchase, hopefully. This is my opinion. You have to decide based on your makeup needs, skin quality, skin tone, and every other variable that can affect how makeup applies to your face. I hope this video helps you decide if you want to pick up any of the shades. Let us know if you have already picked up any of these and if you're happy with them and how you think about the quality of the products. Please don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you like these kinds of videos. It will help me a lot. I'm a smaller and newer YouTuber, and your support will mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.